I'm doing this at the last possible second because my voice still is not what I want it to be, but it is what it is. So we're just gonna knock this out, I guess. Stuff is just slowly falling apart, and it is what it is. Right. I'm literally recording this at 9:45 the morning of February 28th. In the last month, I got the flu, and the cough was insufferable, and it did a real number on my voice. So this is honestly the best I've sounded in 2 weeks. But I don't know how many jump cuts there are going to be in this video to cover the fact that I might need to periodically stop and rest my voice, because it just doesn't seem to be healing as quickly as I would like. I haven't been on stage. Oh my God, in over a month. I started off the year with COVID, then I had to have surgery, and I was laid out, and then I was back on my feet for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then I've been laid up again. And it really takes the wind out of your sails, like in a lot of different ways, when so much of what you do is based on using your voice. I podcast and you stand up, and I ended 2024 with doing shows on the road and having stuff booked, and it was really like I've just had to cancel one thing after another, and it's driving me nuts. Like, I'm still trying to keep shit running behind the scenes, but I don't know. I can't help but feel like I'm just getting, I don't know, left behind, I guess. It's a weird thing in this business, especially when you're, on a pro-am level like me, where you always feel like you need to be going, because you see it happen all the time. Somebody takes a break for a week and people just forget about them. I don't know what it is that this seems to be like one of the one business where we don't allow performers any concessions whatsoever. It's like, oh, you were sick, you should have performed through it. Oh, your dad died, you should have performed through it. You lost your job. It's just like, it just seems like, I don't know. It's so easy to get left behind in this business, because the moment you stop for even a second, you just get left behind. People just move on without you. I don't know. It's a weird thing I've been real self-conscious about. And I think a lot of that's because, I spent a lot of time here in Ohio, only going up a few times a year because of work. And it just always seems like no matter how much I try to give everything to comedy, life just always seems to have something else planned. And I don't know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating, because I'm finally in a position professionally, personally, where I can give my all to comedy again. And every time I try, something gets in the way. Like, case in point, I still sound like this, and, you might think, it doesn't sound that bad, but it's like, I can only talk like this for a few minutes. And it just starts to go away, and it gets harder and harder to keep it going. And, I gotta have cough drops. I've got water next to me. I've got tea next to me. I can't take those things on stage with me. I can't take a whole fucking pharmacy on stage with me every time I want to go do stand-up, because I'm going to lose my voice partway through my set. Even now you can hear it starting to go a little bit. I think I need to actually pause and pause for a sec. Some people probably ask, why am I even still bothering to do this or podcast when my voice is still healing? Let it rest. And it's like, I got to do something, Like, I already spent a week not doing anything and it drove me nuts. I have a cabin fever out the ass. I've never been so happy to be able to go back to the office in my life. But just to be able to get out of the house 3 days a week for 8 hours a day has been a godsend. But yeah, I miss doing stand up. Like, I feel like I've lost all my like forward momentum. It's like, I just, yeah, like I can feel the rust setting in. You know what I mean? Like, I can sit here and write down ideas for jokes all day, every day. That's what I've been doing, is just filling up notebooks. But like, none of it means anything if I can't get out and try it. So yeah, February has sucked. February has been a really shitty month because I just, yeah. I was trying to get back on the horse and then I got thrown off pretty spectacularly. And it's not sitting well with me. Like, I definitely am not. I really want to be back on stage telling jokes again. I want to be back in the grind, hitting the mics, but even just trying to do my set, like just practice my set here at home and shake the rust off a little bit before I can even get through with it. Like, my voice just starts to go. And like, it's hard enough keeping people, you know, on your side and invested in the jokes you're telling when you're speaking normally. But if I'm having to constantly stop, clear my throat, people, you know, have trouble understanding me, words start to break up when I'm talking. It's not a good sign. Especially remember that it's like, yeah, cool, I go to the show, but like, I'm going to be there for probably 2 hours. 2 hours is a long time to stand around in a social setting and just stay silent. So I'm hopefully going to be back next week. This is the best I've sounded. It's about to be the weekend. I'm going to do as little talking as possible after I finish this. But I don't know. I see it and hear about it happen all the time, where so-and-so stopped coming out because of whatever. And they go to the back of the line. And, you know, I've been doing this long enough, and I'm involved in the scene enough that I feel like, I don't know, going to the back of the line just doesn't seem right. You know, not that I'm saying like I'm the world's greatest comedian, but it's like, I don't know. We'll see how things go next week, I suppose. But the hardest thing with all of this, especially since, you know, with what happened last year with going to the hospital and all that, has been, you know, I have to learn to listen to my body. When I did those shows with Ryan on the road, I really learned a lot about how well my body can handle travel and things like that. And I've had to really, over the last year and a half, like focus on what do these noises or these feelings or whatever in my body feel like, and how do I address them? And so, like, I've gotten really good at being able to anticipate what my body is asking for and recognizing what my body needs when it needs it. But the unpredictability of it makes things really difficult, because I mean, like, now traveling is like, I have to have everything planned, like as many details pre-planned as possible. I have to be able to, you know, I have to know that I'm going to be able to get to a bathroom when I need to, or that I'm going to be able to eat when I need to. Like it's just weird things. And so it makes being a traveling comedian that much harder. I think that's why I've started to focus so much more on just my local scenes, because I know the travel side is becoming less and less of a possibility for me. So doing what I can to make the Dayton scene as poppin' as possible, I think is kind of where that focus has shifted to. Yeah, I had so many plans for this year. I had so many plans for February and for March that have just completely been sidelined, because none of it means a goddamn thing until I can get through a set again and just go out and be a comedian again. I feel like I said, I feel like I'm having to, I feel like once I get back on stage, I'm going to be going back all the way to the fucking back of the line. And I don't know, but we'll see. I guess March is a new month, and I just need a break, man. I need a win.